Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever and whatever you are, and welcome to Take the Points.
A true underdog podcast, said in a normal voice, by the way. We're back.
I just figured I could show my range since I can't get that low. I can get up high.
Yeah, you're good at both.
I feel like your intro's evolved just as this pod has evolved.
Yeah.
It's been up, it's been down, it's been stable, you've been neutral. I don't know where to go. Steve's done it, I've done it, we've done it incorrectly, I've done it solo.
I never do it correctly.
But I've said the same thing for like 70 some episodes.
But it's so great. It's like the comments I get on the intro song too, like rolling in, like it's a banger. It's a banger.
It is.
It is. We are back today. We I don't know, just a quick shout out too. We kind of had a weird week last week. I think I know I got a couple texts of like, hey, you guys doing a pod this week? And I don't know if you guys felt this way, but I think the idea was it would have been hard to do like a Tigers pod last week because they were in this like flux situation. So as much as I wanted to talk to Ravens, I feel like the Tigers were kind of in this weird situation. So I figured it'd just be better off to come on this week and chat a little bit. But I don't know if you guys agree with that. It just was a weird limbo week.
I was also I was not available at any of our regular times last week, so it would have been tough for me.
Yeah. So we'll use
that.
We are. We'll use that plus Tigers. And we're in, boys. We're in.
We're in.
By no fault of our own, really.
By the hair on our nutsack, we're in.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say this before we get into a little bit of misery that I'm going to share from my end, and then you guys know why. But I will say this at the start. We would have taken this if you had told us on opening day, hey, you can guarantee we're in the playoffs at the end of September. We're in. Will you take it? We're wild card, but we're in. Do you take it?
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
Because we were looked at last year as potentially a fluke. We're lucky to get in. We were lucky to get in. It took a crazy run, the complete opposite that we did this year at the end of the season. So, yeah, I would have taken it. So I'll start off with that optimism there before we talk about how absolutely blown this division was.
Yeah. It was pretty brutal to have that, like almost a year to the date. You go on from going on an incredible run, a historic run to get into the playoffs, having a 1% chance, right, to getting in the playoffs. Fast forward a year, you have a 99% chance to win or to get. Was it to win the division?
I think it was to get in, but we almost did it.
And it got down to like whatever it was at the end. It was just incredible. And Cleveland, man, every year, fucking Cleveland.
I hate Cleveland.
Me
I hate
too.
everything about Cleveland. I hate their city. I hate their teams. I hate
Me too. Cleveland, if you're listening, suck one, dude. Like, you suck.
I know. I agree with that. I cannot stand Cleveland and just like Steve, to your point, that was going to be my line today. It was like, what I think it was. There was a big special last year called 0.02%.
Yeah.
It was like, imagine had that been like done this year for us to make the playoffs, and then we don't. In a calendar year, we could have had the greatest comeback ever to make the playoffs. Only to, I believe we did break the record for, I think we had the worst record ever in September. I heard today on the radio for a team that made the playoffs in the modern era. I believe we went 7-17 in September, which is the worst record ever for a team that's ever made the playoffs. And we blew a 15.5 game lead that we had on July 1st, which I believe is the biggest or tied for the biggest division lead ever blown in MLB history.
Wow. What was it in August? I think even in August, it was like 11, 12.
I mean, we were 6.5 games up, I think, when that Cleveland series started, the one that was 2 weeks ago or whatever. Like even that was still
the last episode that we had. Maybe I jinxed us. I don't know, because I did say, we've already won the division. Like, I think I said those words, just looking at the standings where we were at that. And Steve, you were kind of with me. We were like, I think Robbie, you were the contrarian where you said, well, it's not over yet. And we were like, well, yeah, I know. But even with losing that series to Cleveland, like, look at the lead we have right now. There's no way we're going to blow it. And I think it was also combined with Cleveland just being unbelievably good.
last year doesn't happen without the Twins actually falling in a garbage hole. Like that does not happen. Like it takes two to tango. Someone's got to be great. Like think about it. We get swept by the White Sox. We just kept losing these series. Braves came into town and swept us. It was just a weird turn of events. I mean, I think we knew this team was good. I never thought that they were great. We knew that they were good. I think they were playing with house money. I just couldn't have envisioned like the tank that's happened. And again, I heard a great comment today on the radio, which I agree with this morning. I was working out listening, and they were like, "There's probably no other city in the U.S. of a team that made the playoffs that the fan base is like bitching that they made the playoffs." So like, I'm not going to complain that we made it. I think it's more would have been really nice to go in with like high vibes, hosting a series in Detroit, maybe gotten that first round bye. You're already in the divisional series. I think it's like, I think this team got a weight lifted off them. If you watch the celebration on Saturday, you could tell this was wearing on them big time. I mean, they did not want to choke this out. So I'm curious if maybe, we get a little mojo going here, but like to me, if our offense is the biggest, that's the offense and bullpen, just like I'm confident our starting pitching can hold for 5-6 innings in these games, but it's the lack of offense and the relief pitching is just like, you just don't know what you're going to get. You know what I mean? Riley Green, Torres, like they just have not, our big hitters have been horrible.
We don't have situations. Big hitters.
Right.
I would say this. I don't think, and this is probably, I'm going to go off a tangent a little bit, right? But like the whole Scott Harris didn't do anything at the deadline move. No one you were going to bring here that was available would have changed this, in my opinion. Right? It may have been like the outcome of this is going to be the same. I don't think we have a good enough team to win the World Series. We don't have any big hitters. Riley Green's our best, and he struck out 200 times this year. 200 times.
So I will say, I mean, I still stand on, even if that's true, we should have given our team the best chance by bringing some guys in, bringing some pitching in, and trying to bring a hitter in, because we knew at that point, at the deadline, we knew. And I know I don't want to harp on this too much because we've already talked about this, but we should have given our team the best chance to win. I think if we had hung on, because we were leading the AL, we had the best record in the AL for most of the season.
Best record in the majors,
major. But I'm talking about not even having to play in this first round here. If we had just brought in some guys and not gone on that torrential slide, we could have potentially avoided this first round and given ourselves a better chance. And I think that's all you can do is try to give your team the best chance. And I don't think we did that, obviously.
Yeah, that was the conundrum at the deadline. And I honestly think behind closed doors, Scott Harris probably saw what you were thinking. Like, I think, again, I've always said, I think we are well ahead of schedule, whether right or wrong. Wilson, I just wanted to start. I agree with you 1,000%. Like, you play 162 games. It's very hard to be first team to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 wins, whatever it was. Like, it's like the Lions last year being so great. Like, you never know when you're going to get back to that point. So, like, when you're in that situation, I think as a fan, you want the team to push the chips in. I think if you look at a measured GM probably looks at the team and says, okay, if I squeak the most out of this team, do I feel like I can incrementally add enough to make us a World Series contender? If that answer is no, which I think is wrongfully I would not have done that. I agree with you because I'm a fan. I want them to go all in, but I bet that's Scott Harris rationalization. The problem is the guys he brought in made us worse.
Well, I don't love the guys. I don't love the guys he's brought in, but again, to be the counterpoint here is you look at what Scott Harris has said he wants to build, guys that control the strike zone. Who on this controls the strike zone? Who on either on both sides of the ball? Who controls the strike zone outside of Terry Skubal?
Gleyber Torres is probably the only hitter we have on the team.
Great, 1-year deal. He's going to walk, and he's been asked the last half of the year.
He's been horrible.
Right?
I think he's hitting
so you're going to bring in
September.
Right. So here's the thing, right? Like no one on this team does what Scott Harris wants to do.
Yeah.
So I think he wasn't going to marry himself to any of these. I don't think he's married to any of these guys. To be honest, I don't.
I agree.
And if you're going to go ahead and do what? Bring in Eugenio Suarez, guess who else struck out 200 times this year?
He's been bad too.
Eugenio Suarez. Right? That guy does not make our team better, in my opinion. When you look at the type of players that we have here and the deficiencies we have, you're just adding one more guy that does the same shit. Not going to fly. So I don't know. That's my whole
Yeah.
You hear it all week on the radio. We should have done this at the deadline. Okay, yeah, you go get Juan Soto at the deadline. Oh wait, he wasn't available.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like it takes, to your point, it takes two to tango. You are only going to get what was out there, and what was out there wasn't going to make your team a World Series team. Now, watch us get raging hot and go to the World Series. Just watch it happen.
Well, that's the other thing.
Off Zach McKinstry.
I honestly think that this team, which is mostly the same guys who went all in last year and did it, like it's a lot of the same guys. They must then feel better when their stress is not on them, and like play better when the stress isn't on. That's pretty common.
Yeah, they want to be the hunted, or they want to be the hunter, not the hunted.
So there's rare cases where teams want to be the hunted and perform better in that situation. I would say Kansas City Chiefs have shown that they can do that, and like Golden State back in the day showed that they could do that. Yeah. But this Tigers team is not that, and I think that they were starting to feel like they were the hunted when they were in first place for a lot of the year, and coming down the stretch, there's a lot of pressure that I think has probably been relieved now. And
and they're all super young too.
Yeah.
Like Riley Green's only 24 years old, 23 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I was doing at 24? I was blacked out. Like almost the whole time.
That's like your whole year.
The whole year, basically. Like tallied up as just being blacked out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, tough transition. Okay. How are we feel? So we obviously got Cleveland. I think we can all say there's more we could have done at the deadline. I do agree with Steve. I think this team's fate was sealed probably in the offseason when the Bregman thing didn't happen, and they didn't have a plan B. Like we said that remember it was Bregman or bust. That was a whole pod we did about how that was it. And that just, they've never recovered from not having that bat, which is why you get the Andy Ibanez and Zach McKinstry and Trey Sweeney. Like you look at some of the guys who were pinch hitting in the playoffs, it's going to be like Jake Rogers and Trey Sweeney are going to be pinch hitting.
Jahmai Jones hitting fourth. Like it's going to be.
He's actually been Jahmai Jones.
Good. He's been okay,
really good.
But
he's been
again,
solid.
We talked about this. I don't think Wilson, you were on when we talked about it, but all of those guys, right? Jahmai Jones, Vierling, McKinstry, Ibanez, Wenzel Perez, all of these guys are fine. I like them all. There's nothing wrong with them, but I don't need 5 of them. I need like 2.
Yeah,
right? I need 2 of these guys to come in and just be like a situational depth piece. I don't need like your whole lineup to be. But what Cleveland has not, like they're not a good team either. They've just overperformed. So
yeah, I mean it's really a couple guys who have seriously overperformed against us consistently. Like Stephen Kwan has just ripped us apart.
He's a killer.
I hate that guy, but I love him. I want him on our team so bad, but he's
me
good.
Too.
He's
That's the guy.
He's a rat. He's just a rat. He's a dog. He's just he catches everything in the outfield. He like sprays the ball all over the field, right? Like he gets these little bloop singles. He's everything you want out of a player.
He's what you want Parker Meadows to be.
100%.
Yes.
Yep. Right? And Parker Meadows is half of it on the defensive side, but just not there offensively.
Yeah. I mean, Cleveland's just such a weird team too, aren't they? Just like, if you look at their team, I think they had negative run differential. I think I was watching the game last night or the night before where they were playing Texas or whatever. I was hate watching to hope that they lose. And I think it was like their batting average is like outside of Ramirez and Kwan is like, it's like 210 or something like that. Their team average is, I think, like 225. I mean, those guys make up like 50% of their hits come from Stephen Kwan and Jose Ramirez. So
and they've been timely hits too. Like you watch these games where it's like 3-1 going into the 8th inning, and suddenly we're down 6-3.
Yeah, and it's those two guys every time. Yeah, I mean,
over and over.
You're talking about the series they just had versus the Rangers, and the series we just lost to the Red Sox. The craziest thing is we could have still won the division in that last series of the year. If we had just won those games, I know that's a tough ask. The Red Sox is a good team. They're a good team, and we had to go to Fenway. But if we had just won that series. Did you see who they were trotting out there?
Did you see who they were trotting out there?
Who, the Red Sox?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
They like I think it was Saturday, they had 5 guys that weren't regular players.
Because the Red Sox did not want to win. They did not want to go to New York. They did not want to play the Yankees. They would have much rather played Cleveland for sure.
Sure.
They were trying. Like Bregman didn't play those last. Bregman didn't play those last 2 games. Like once they clinched, they did not want to win.
Yeah.
If
They
we
did
had
not
just
want
insert Riley Green. Like you hear that? Oh, it's a strikeout from Riley Green.
and if we
Stinks.
win that series, if we just win those games, this series with Cleveland would then be in Detroit.
Yeah.
Although Cleveland had a miraculous walk-off yesterday, which yesterday was the game
they did.
Yesterday was a game I was probably the most surprised at when it was, I think we were down 1, whatever it was, in the 8th and the 9th. Cleveland was losing. Then they came back and tied it in the 9th. They were down 8-5 in the 10th. Rocchio hit a home run. They scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 10th inning to win. So it made me feel better. Like, okay, even if we would have won yesterday, it wouldn't have mattered. It just more so the 9th inning yesterday, we were hitting Trey Sweeney, Jake Rogers. Like, we didn't even bring Green or Torque off the bench. It was Dingler. It's like, AJ, like, can we maybe we got to pinch hit somebody just to give yourself a chance in the 9th?
But still, we left. I mean, it was the same song and dance as
for sure
the other 13 games in that losing streak.
Yeah,
I think you left 11 guys on base.
Yeah, 11 or 12
yesterday.
Yeah,
and that's been our whole issue, right? Is you can't close the deal. So who knows, man? Watch us going to Cleveland and look at you get Skubal first game. I like that. I always like that matchup, Skubal versus insert anybody here, right? Yeah, I like us in that game. Yeah. And then Flaherty's been looking decent. He's got the World Series experience from last year. Let him go.
And then do we go Mize?
We can knock. Well, hopefully we don't have to. But
well, if we do,
I think Mize is starting game 2 without a doubt.
You think so?
You think so?
Mize in September. Mize in September's got like a 2.3 ERA. He pitched the best game of his career, I feel like, in the Tigers on Friday night in a must-have game. The
problem is he gets his pitch count up so high, and in the playoffs, right?
But they're going to yank him anyways. They're going to yank him after 5 anyways. You're going to go to the bullpen. You're going to go lefty, righty. And
what if he's at 80 pitches after 3 innings? Like he could, that could be the thing. And then you go into bullpen game.
Troy Melton's about to be a major. He's going to be the Bo Brisky of this year's playoffs. Is going to be Troy Melton.
I like Troy Melton, so that'd be legit.
So what do we give them chance wise? So also, can we talk about these 110 games? What the hell? We got effed.
Yeah.
No one our age, no one the age 16 is watching Major League Baseball. Let's find a way to fix that. Let's put the game in the middle of the week at 1:10 on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because that should definitely get a younger crowd involved to watch the game.
Now this might help us. It might help us though.
So stupid.
But look at the other teams.
No, I know.
You know what I mean?
100%.
The other matchup is Boston, New York.
You're never gonna beat that. Yeah.
What's the other one? Is Chicago and Milwaukee?
Yep, and then Dodgers.
That's good. Okay, so you got 3 huge markets, 4 huge markets.
Dodgers, Reds.
But here's why I think it might help us, because that makes it harder for a lot of the fans in Cleveland too to get to the game. I think the Detroit fans are already going to be taking off work and stuff. In Cleveland, that wasn't going to have to be an option. They could have just gone, if it was a night game, just go after work. Now they have to take off work and we have to take off work. It's the same thing. And so it's not that far away to just take the day off. I think we're going to have a lot more fan presence there than we would have.
Are you saying we should take a trip to Cleveland?
I might be saying that. I would maybe be in.
I would definitely go to Cleveland. Probably on Wednesday. Depending on what happens on tomorrow, then I'd probably go Wednesday. Feels like the better day to go.
Wednesday's my birthday, and I already took the day off.
Wow.
Oh, that feels like
what a drop.
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks. Yeah.
We're driving to Cleveland. All right. Let's go. Yeah. So what do we give them? We give them, I know it's going to be like a 50-50 chance, but do we realistically think that they, I think this is going to go one of 2 ways. I think we're either going to win or we are going to get absolutely blasted. I think it's going to be like a repeat of what we just saw the last 2 weeks, but there's maybe it's this hopium inside of me thinking get Scoob on the bump on game 1. He's pissed off. He almost killed one of their guys last time we played. He is fired up. This might be his last postseason run with Detroit, right? Who knows I think this might be the last hot take for a lot of these guys. I actually think we could see some real movement this offseason where a guy like Riley Green, a guy like Torque, I think could 1,000% be on the block. It would not shock me.
100% agree. Skubal.
Yep. I think this might be they got their core, the McGonagalls and all the young guys they're going to want to bring up. And the McKinstries, I think they're all going to stick around. But I think this core 3, 4, 5 in the lineup, this might be it. But
I'm with
anyways,
you.
I don't know. I think it's going to go one. I think it's blowout, or I think we take this. I think I have trouble seeing it be this seesaw series because it just doesn't feel like we have the bullpen guys. I think we're really going to have to blow them out of the water. But
I think I think that I'll reference my high school wrestling career. When I was growing up, there was Eddie Skineski and Justin Petrone were like the number 1 and 2 guys in the state, and Eddie Skineski beat Justin Petrone every single time in like a 2-1, like one of the last second kind of match. And then in the state final, they met, and Justin Petrone whooped him.
What a last name, dude! His last name is Petrone.
That's good guy.
sick.
I knew him. Yeah, he went to Fire Up Chips, Central Michigan. Good guy. But like that's the kind of thing I think of, right? Is like this team's whomped us all year. I wouldn't be shocked at all, and I'm actually kind of expecting us to go in and just take 2 right off the bat.
No, I like that. I'm also confident. I was gonna say 70% chance I would give us of winning this series. I don't know
you're
about
gonna put your money where your mouth is. We're gonna put some cash on this.
I'm locked out of FanDuel, so no.
Oh,
but
I will. I'll do it for you. It didn't work out so well for me the other day. I threw $200.
Yeah, Wilson was like, Wilson was like, I hate everything about the Tigers, which I actually got to admit, I do actually hate watching them. They're not a fun team to watch. They're actually, it's painful.
I was so mad. Sure, I was mad that I lost the money, but that was when it sunk in for me. Like, we're going to lose the division. We just gave the division away.
Yeah.
So that was why I was so pissed. But yes, I think we're going to win this, and I think especially if Scooble goes out there and throws a gem,
does Scooble things,
and we win game 1, I think 100% we're going to win. We're going to win the series.
Yeah, I mean, I think the odds show that's right. I think you got to take game 1, which is absolutely huge. But anyways, by the time people hear this, first game 1 could be over. So just take our game 2 and game 3 takes on this.
Yeah.
And go Tigers.
This will be out tomorrow, which is Tuesday. This will be out before the game starts.
So you just got to listen to it between the hours.
Listen to it on your ride in.
Yeah.
On your way to the game, on your way to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Sick. Wilson, we'll listen to this on Wednesday on our way to Cleveland.
Yeah.
So we got it. Speaking of Cleveland, come on. Our boys put a beat down on Cleveland and Baltimore. We got to do a follow-up from the week prior, taking down Baltimore, which kind of interesting. Baltimore maybe not as good as people thought, but I still take the win in Baltimore.
Still good. I think
Lamar's
they're still
nasty.
Like Baltimore's losses were to Kansas City, us, and Buffalo.
Yeah, they're really good. They're still really good.
Those 4 teams with Baltimore, that's 4 Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah, but what a schedule for them. Holy cow. But isn't Lamar Jackson injured now?
Yeah, he's got a groin or something like that.
So they're kind of cooked a little bit.
I mean, you knew both those teams were desperate yesterday, right? Like the question is going to be, can Baltimore still get out of their division? Like, can they still be division champs? Right? Like that's going to be the question. Cleveland's not any good. Like you're just going to have to see how that division shakes out. Cincinnati's missing Burrow.
They're in Pittsburgh's division too, right? Pittsburgh's always tough.
Right. That seems like I don't count Baltimore out yet, but just a really solid effort from the Lions these last 2 weeks. Like what a absolute clinic we put on. Honestly, both games. That game, I've also watched both games. I'd like to call this out. I have not walked away from the screen. I've been fully dialed in.
Wow,
so,
look at you.
There's no vacuuming happening.
That's incredible.
We're
a changed man.
We're fully tuned in.
Leaf.
What can I say? Speaking of Leaf, how about Khalif Raymond yesterday going off on that?
That was such a good transition there from that. Wow.
I was getting a little mad at Khalif. If you looked at some of my texts with my buddies, I wrote, can Khalif learn that, you don't always have to, catch every ball when it's about to bounce in the end zone? I felt like there's, 5 times yesterday where we started at the 8-yard line. It's we can let that thing, if it bounces,
true,
we actually get it out, at the 25-yard line. That's okay to do that.
Punts are that's a tough spot. That's what punters are good at.
I know,
putting it right. And then that backspin on it.
But then he ran it back, and I was like, "That's what I get. That's definitely what I get for that." So I don't know. Takeaways from yesterday from Cleveland: impressed, defense, offense. We had some injuries.
Man, crazy.
I would say for me, I was trying to decide earlier today before we got on here if I was more impressed with our offense or our defense over the last couple of weeks. And I can't decide. What do you guys think?
I'm defense for me just because I expect nothing from them. And they lead the NFL in sacks right now, which is insane.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's Brad Holmes. He's sitting up there being like, you said I need a D end. To me,
they do still. They still very much do.
I felt like and then Steve, you can comment too. Like my thought of why the defense has been good. I think the pressure's been great. They've been blitzing a ton. If you saw yesterday, they were bringing the house. I think the strength of this team is our linebacker play and our safety play. Like Branch and Kirby Joseph have been awesome. And DJ Reed, before he got hurt, he's been okay. He had a really good game yesterday. He didn't look great the first week. But the point is, if you're going to blitz all these guys and have these linebackers moving around, you're putting your corners on an island. And I think Branch and Joseph both being back there has really helped the defense. So to me, I've been most impressed with the linebackers, and our safeties has been my defensive kind of.
You got to give it up for Al-Qadin Muhammad, guys.
Bob Muhammad.
We've given him a little bit of crap, I think, on this pod, saying who are we going to throw out there, Muhammad?
Yeah,
he's got 3.5 sacks. He's
been good. That was all in one game, wasn't it?
I don't know, but Aiden's
he was all in
the
that Baltimore game.
The defense has been impressive. We do need another defensive end. You just look at the pressure. Just Myles Garrett. First of all, what a complete loser Myles Garrett is. I just can't. Every time he sits on the bench at the end of the game, looks at the scoreboard, and just you can read his mouth. He's going, "Fuck, man," or you chose this life, dude. You chose this life.
You sold out.
And I hope one day they bury you in that Cleveland jersey, and you it's all worth it, because it won't be. It will never be worth. I don't know. He's just he's an animal. You hear Taylor Decker after the game.
Yeah.
They're like, what was it? How was it going up against Myles Garrett? He was like, first off, that dude's an animal. And he is. The way he pushes Taylor Decker around, who Taylor Decker's a beast too.
It's like a rag doll.
Yeah. And Sewell too. He got the best of Penei Sewell a lot. Man, that guy, another guy like that on this team would be great. Even a guy half as good.
Yeah.
Right. To go up alongside Aiden would be awesome.
Well, that's why because of how good he is and Cleveland's defense just in general, I think they have a top 5 defense, right?
I think they're the number 1 defense. They've allowed the least amount of rushing yards and passing yards, I believe, in the NFL to start the year.
Well, we still got almost 300 yards of offense and 3 touchdowns and a couple field goals. We scored on 5 possessions. That's against the defense that good. That's also pretty impressive.
Yeah, they're like a chameleon team. I think that's been the narrative. That's what Dan Campbell said, right? A good team is one that can win. And this was such a trap game, but a team that can win in multiple ways. Did you guys hear Dan Campbell's press conference? I thought this was so cool. He was saying when he first started, Bill Parcells, right, was one of his mentors or whatever he coached under. He said when it would be a big game and it was a trap game, he would put thousands of mouse traps all throughout the training, all throughout the facility during the week, so that players would be sitting down in meetings room and there just would be mouse traps there, because the fact that he thought the game was a trap. I thought that's such a unique thing for a coach to do. And Campbell had them geared up for this game. I think he's the value of Campbell has shown through and through even more these last 3 weeks to get them to rally off for that first week. And they did not overlook this Cleveland team. They were ready to go. And I think this would have been a very easy letdown spot. Look at the Packers last week. They lost to Cleveland, and they come back and they tie Dallas last night. Not a good stretch for them, right? That's coaching, that's stability on the team, the culture of it. So I've been impressed with Dan Campbell too, just the way he's continued to imprint himself all over this team and everything that we are. You watched the way that it was one of the runs later in the game. It was I think 3rd and goal, or I think it might have been 4th and goal, and they threw it to Amon-Ra, and he just zigged through. He willed his way into the end zone there, and that's that's a culture thing. And you watch him just it's just crazy. These guys fight so hard, and they make it look easy, but it's not. And it's just, I think you're right. The Dan Campbell effect is it's trickled down across everybody. Or Jack Campbell, another guy who's just a stud, an absolute stud. Ascending, dude. Remember Anzalone last year? Remember when he went out with that injury? It was the defense was shattered. Now Anzalone is an off-ball linebacker that is he's looking to Jack Campbell because Campbell's the one that's the green dot now. He's the one calling in the back end, and it's you got him and Derek Barnes floating around. That is a hell of a dynamic.
Rodrigo coming back too. Like that's going to be
right. Him and Aleem coming back. Like I've been impressed with DJ Reader. Looks like he's gotten some life back under him. Williams looks, Tyleek Williams, our first round draft pick, looks like he's like the Lions offense is predicated on stopping the run. Like it's just what they do. They stop the run because they can stop the run. That just prevents them from having to, play the run so much. They can blitz off the edges because they don't get a lot of natural like pressure from the edge, which is why they got to bring the blitz so much. Like it all starts with stopping that run. And I've been impressed overall with the defense. Kelvin Shepard feels like he's just a dog too. He just is like Aaron Glenn's son. I mean, he's just
a leader of men.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think overall, like a never stop, like keep grinding attitude. And I think that is why we actually have the largest positive point differential in the NFL at plus 49.
Yeah.
There's teams with better records than us, the Bills and the Eagles, a ton of other teams at 3-1, but we have the largest differential by like a whole touchdown.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I also will comment too that Jared Goff looked like he was running for his life a little bit. And I know that's kind of always been his knock, right? He needs a clean pocket to be that good. Aside from that one pick, I thought he was sharp. He made the right decisions under pressure. And like, I think, the questions of Ben Johnson, how is that him leaving? How is it going to affect Goff? I think Goff's gotten to be a better player. Like just over time, his confidence, he's just making the right decisions in those situations that, like there was a lot of drives that stalled out and all that, but like he kept going and kept playing his style, and the team kept playing their style, and it worked out. So
Goff has been just this. Like I was watching last night, you guys would love this. I like went to bed at like 10:30, and I like woke up to take a pee, and I was like, I really want to check
so
to see.
Far.
Like I was like, I want to check to see the score of this Packers game. It was like start of the fourth quarter. An hour and a half later, it's now 12:30, and I'm watching a 40-40 tie at the end of this. Yes, I know. This is stupid. No. My point of this was, yes, I had to take a pee because I like to hydrate. Two is, I know you're a hydrate guy too, is that watching Jordan Love in the closing moments of that game versus watching a guy like Jared Goff, I don't think there's a comparison. I think Goff is just the better quarterback. Like I think he's still underrated in my opinion. Like when like that. There was a couple throws yesterday. J-Mo dropped a couple balls. He had that deep one to J-Mo that I think J-Mo dropped. Then he had one earlier that he couldn't even get out to him, but J-Mo was wide open and he just got hit right before he threw the ball. It's like he's seeing the defense, which I think is such especially with Ragnow being retired, he's like the second set of eyes up there now, to help out Glasgow. Because I think the O-line's also been another positive for me. Like everything we said that went horrible in week one has now rebounded to be at least positive, trending in the right direction. I'm not saying they're perfect, but
not a negative.
No, right. Exactly.
Really quick. I do want to give Jerry Jones his props for not giving Micah Parsons a tribute video.
Love that.
I like this may be one of my hot takes in sports, or maybe one of my like unnecessary pet peeve, right? A pet peeve of mine in sports is the tribute video to everybody.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? Like Amon Shumpert getting a tribute video in New York. Like,
did that happen?
Probably. I don't know if it did, but like
Amon Shumpert, I love that.
Like, yeah, Micah Parsons is a good player, but he played for the Cowboys for like 5 years. Jerry Jones, the one thing I support him is being like, yeah, no, we're not giving him a tribute video. And rightfully so. You didn't do shit there.
Yeah.
You were like a 40-58 record in Dallas.
Yeah, no,
I don't know about the Micah thing.
They loved hyping that up, and of course they're going to hype that up like crazy in the pregame of, him coming and playing his old team. But who freaking cares? Like these guys are professionals. If it's different if it's Aaron Rodgers is going back to Green Bay or something like that, because you're talking about one of the greatest of all time who played there for what 16, 17 years.
2 decades there almost. Yeah. See, what I would have done is I thought if I would have been Jerry Jones's shoes, I would have done a one further. I'd have put a package together of all the times Micah Parsons sucked for us. Right?
Just
And
like
then
a
like that
hate
song,
video.
and then like that song that plays when like you have to like the ASPCA commercials come on. It's like Sarah McLachlan, like I will remember you.
Dude, that would have been epic. Oh my god.
That's what I would have done.
It's hilarious.
But the
I would
Cowboys
love
are
that.
trash anyway. They don't have the authority to do it.
I was pulling for the Cowboys last night just because I wanted the Packers to lose.
Oh,
but
of course.
anyways,
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, the fact that we're top of the division right now after
Yeah.
losing to the Packers game 1 is incredible.
And we got
Actually-
Bengals this weekend. I'll be in Cincinnati. I'm going with my
Oh,
sister.
nice.
Which will be
Oh,
sweet.
sweet.
Yeah. I'll be rocking the golf jersey and hat.
There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
be going into
Nice.
enemy territory to watch.
I love it.
Jake Browning, isn't that their backup quarterback?
Yep.
Which, with both of our top corners being out, only potential concern this week. Like, probably not the best week
yeah.
for Reed to be out
The Matt Flynn effect.
with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. But my guess is they're going to have a Meek take Jamar Chase, and you're just going to give him a
Yeah.
ton of shadow coverage.
And they
from the
got
safeties
we got Rocky Sin too. Like
Yeah.
he's a
or
solid.
they'll move Branch down and have him play corner, and then
Ooh. That'd
Yeah.
be weird.
move someone else into safety or whatever. But anyway,
so wait, who do we have out? And was Kirby Joseph okay?
Yeah, he came back.
He came back.
and played.
Okay, who was actually out at the end of the game? I know Reed
Reed
and
and
Arnold.
Arnold.
and Arnold was getting all those calls like he was holding like crazy. At the start.
He's
There
not
were some-
good.
He's not
He's
good.
not good. He's not
He's
good.
not-
He's just
Yeah,
not great.
he's
just
going to
not
be
great.
probably average.
Yeah.
I think is what we can hope for him. But there was early on in the game, one of those holding calls was kind of weak.
He got like
Yeah.
2 in a row though. It's like
Yeah, it was right when he got the 2 in the row. The first one, that was kind of tough.
He's still just a handsy guy. Like, that's why you look at Amik Robertson as 5'9". He's really like
Mhm.
Wilson. He's like your height.
Why do you
I
say
love
that?
it.
I'm taller than you, dude.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm only 5'8". That's why I called you out. That was I wasn't messing, bro. That
Normally,
wasn't-
when somebody's telling me he's like, "Oh, he's,
No, I was-
he's like
no,
your height," they're like,
was
saying,
being serious.
This
I was-
person's
Yeah.
short.
I was
Yeah,
genuinely
Robbie's
being,
over here identifying as
Okay.
6'5".
Okay.
I'm just saying Wilson's taller than me, so he's Wilson's height is my point.
Okay.
But I'm just saying he's 5'9", like $180, and he's like going to be like your number one corner now over a guy like Arnold, because
Yeah.
Arnold he just cannot pick up, especially with how much isolation he gets when they run man-to-man coverage. He just he gets too handsy with these guys, and he gets penalties
Yeah.
called on him all the time. Can't have it.
And that's the stuff that worked at Alabama that like doesn't translate to the league. That's why I think like the cornerback's a tough position
Yeah.
in the
So
NFL.
how long is Reed out? Do we know?
Don't know. Campbell hasn't done his presser today. Ian Rappaport said today could be an IR stint, which would be 4 weeks minimum. I mean, a hammy like that, the way he pulled up, I mean, that's one. Sure, he's back. He could be back in a week, 2 weeks, but is he going to re-pull it again? Like, it's almost like an oblique in baseball. Like you really got to rest it. And then, I mean, you guys have pulled hammies and quads and stuff before, like those soft muscle injuries or like the soft tissue are the hardest ones to come back from, which is funny because it was like we had a game, Monday night, we come back Sunday, you have all these soft tissue injuries popping up. It's like, that's what happens when you're on a short week.
Yeah. It's
Well,
a terrible time for it too. With like you said, the Bengals.
It's just bad. And then you got Kansas City the week after that. So
and
like
then the Bucks. Yeah.
So those are like, you need Reed at least ready to go by Kansas City and definitely by Tampa with Emeka Buka, who's been awesome. And then Chris Godwin and Mike Evans or whoever it is, like they've been good. But
Yeah, they've been good. That's why we gotta revise that banned substance list, right? Get them on some stuff that'll heal them.
See,
Seriously.
I agree with the amount of injuries that have been happening. I saw Gruden was going off talking about how there's just it's ridiculous the amount of injuries. We got to figure out what's getting down to the bottom of it, because this is it's like what is the word? It's just never happened before. The amount of injuries that are having to be some really key guys this early in the season. So to your point, Steve, if that's the solution for it, is like, okay, let's start giving them some PEDs when guys are injured.
Should.
Like, come on.
Yeah, a lot of these guys they train so hard, they build up so much like explosiveness that I think a lot of it is just their tendons and their joints can't take. Like, you're not meant to be like Panay Sewell.
Right.
Human beings aren't meant to be that big and strong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And operate at that level. And that's why you watch these guys, like these big lineman guys, when they retire from the NFL, they shrink.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You think like you'd be off some like strict training program, you'd get fat and soft. Like a lot of these guys lose a ton of weight because they just
Yeah.
You know, their bodies aren't exerting that much force. But yeah, a little BPC 157. I got a regimen for you, DJ, if you want it. But
well, I mean, this is why you're a proponent of these things, because humans aren't even supposed to be as big as Steve Addington. Like humans should not be that big.
Please say it again.
It's true.
No, you gotta supplement well. You gotta eat right.
You know who else is Will Wilson? I know you want to talk Ryder Cup, and this just feels like a perfect transition. Bryson DeChambeau, that dude's arms and the way he putts. Steve, do you putt like that? Just like, I mean, arms are just like totally straight. That guy does not move his arms, and he's literally got like pillows on his arms for how freaking big his muscles are. And I'm like, dude. He doesn't look like he should be a golfer. Do you know
but then he hits the ball a mile. Did you see? I don't know if you watched any of the Ryder Cup, but the first hole. I did.
We shit ourselves the first 2 days, but
yeah, we were terrible. But so bad. He was hitting his drive on the first hole like a mile past everybody. He got it to the edge of the green on day 4 or day 3, which is like ridiculous.
It's like, insane. He might clear the bunker. How far is the bunker? It's like 310, and you're like, what? Yeah, it's like, he's gonna have a soft. By the way, I love, they'll be like 120
out. He's going to carry the bunker.
Yeah, but they'll be like 120 out, and they'll be like, he's going to hit a soft sand wedge here. I'm like, sand wedge from 120? I'm hitting that from like 50, and I'm probably not making the green. Granted, I'm not a professional golfer, but like,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
anyways.
he's got like that perfect combination of just power, and he's figured out how to manipulate his body and his flexibility to where he can get a full range of motion and be as explosive as possible.
The flexibility too. I don't have that flexibility. The way he can bend his body, being
like the way he lines up his shot. It's almost like the club is at his side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because his torso's turned so much, and then it's just like that ball just explodes.
Did you guys watch any of the Ryder Cup? Did you guys say you watched anything?
I watched as much as I possibly could. Yeah.
Okay, wasn't yesterday nuts? Like the comeback, it was insane,
crazy. That's why I wanted to bring it up, because I was so disappointed, because I've been so looking forward to watching this.
Yeah, me too.
And I mean, I really like Rory McIlroy, so it's hard to root against him. But my favorites are DeChambeau, and of course I like Scotty Scheffler. But he was on an episode of was it? I think it was the guys from Good on their YouTube channel.
And, yeah.
And he was just like really chill, and I was like, I like this dude a lot. So
he's got like a killer mentality. It's like, you know, he's just very chill, and then it's just like, and I'm going to turn it on and just destroy you.
And just like their golf knowledge, listening to these guys talk about golf and what goes through their mind, you know, in each swing is crazy. But like just a couple guys on that team, I really, really root for, and so I was very excited. And then they just came out and sucked so bad that yesterday when we were making that comeback, I was like, holy shit, this is like same thing with the Tigers losing like we did. It had to be like a 1% or less chance that we were going to win. Of course, we didn't win, but man, we were seriously right there. Like if Oberg hadn't beat Cantley, which was the only one that the Europeans won yesterday, if that didn't happen, I think the other ones were.
I think Cantley won. It was
Cantley lost to Oberg.
Envelope rule.
That's what I was going to say.
What's his face got hurt, so like you had to like essentially they each got half of a point. That benefited them for sure yesterday.
Well, it didn't end up actually changing them winning, because they needed 14.5 points to win, and they got to 15, so they would have still had it even without that half point. But the one match they won that I know that they might have won 2, but Oberg won against Cantley. And if he doesn't win that, then that becomes what you just said, becomes of utmost importance, like, because that would have literally gotten them to their point total to win. And that's got to change. Like I saw Keegan Bradley say in a press conference, like before the Ryder Cup happens again, that rule has got to change.
Which I always, Wilson, I don't know, man. I always think that shit's so funny, though. It's like the rule only matters that it sucks till it matters. Like now he's like, of course, after he's like, this rule would have changed. Versus, it's like fair.
But
like,
think about it. If a guy, you shouldn't be able to win the Ryder Cup because a guy on your team quit. Because a guy couldn't go. You would win the Ryder Cup because a guy couldn't go.
I actually wish they would have just had like a sub ready to go. And like, like you're just like bringing like the... have like one of the old dudes play out there. Like have the captains have to play or
Pick
something.
Someone from the crowd, right?
Yeah,
Everybody,
whatever, just
in order to be a spectator, everyone submits their 18 birdies handicap, and then they adjust the score.
Let's go.
They're picking Robbie out of the crowd.
Go.
He's like,
Come on. How about this?
Me?
How about this? I mean, there's so many solutions. How about you just say the captains agree to one match that's going to count for double points, and the match that is, Victor Hovland's match versus Harris English that didn't happen, instead of being halved and each side getting a half point, just count that for 0, throw it out, and have another match count for 2. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of things you could do.
I mean, it just was what I think hurt yesterday was the fact that at the end, like, when there was maybe like 3 matches left, like Spawn played great all weekend. He should have played way more than he did. Scheffler played like shit. I think he went 1-3. I mean, you weren't not going to play him. He's the best golfer in the world. But
1-4. He was 1-4.
He was right. He did not play great. It's like you look at the guys that played well yesterday. It just was cool at the end as like things were getting clicked off. The problem is just they had too many damn points. Like you got to a point where you literally even having a match killed you. But like, what's his name that made that huge putt yesterday on 18 to take it? What is his name? Come on.
For which side?
For the US.
Cam Young.
Yeah. I mean, right. His pairing, like that was incredible. Like the way they came out and just like they were sinking 10-foot putts to like win these matches. It just was like click, click, click. I felt like all of a sudden you saw the US started to like apply that. And it was like all of a sudden when they only needed another half point. That's where I hated the half point thing. It's also weird that I think it was they had to get 14 points to retain. US had to get 14.5 to take it. So that's where I think it was holding at like 13.5 for so long. And they just have that last match. And it was like,
But I would have even felt if Europe had gotten 14 instead of, and sure they retain at 14, but it's a tie. Like I would have felt like we won if we had held them to 14 after where we had been.
I know it was awesome. It was awesome to watch. I love that like Olympic style, like US versus other, like whatever country. Like I think golf was awesome. There was so much shit talking too. Like Rory was getting, he was getting like verbally assaulted, which was kind of crazy. Like not a huge fan of that from the fans, but like, there's also like, that's what's going to happen. You're in your backswing. Like you're going to get like, that's like when you're in Europe, all they do is yell the European chants like nonstop when the US team is over there, and they kick our ass in chants, by the way. Like Europe is, they dominate us. Our fans were dead. They were dead in New York. There was
we were screaming at the profanities though.
What's
your guys' take on this? Because there's a lot of crying about that going on, saying there's no place for that. I don't know how I feel. What do you think? Should the fans be able to say like, "You effing suck" to Rory, or is that too far?
I don't know. Rory doesn't fucking suck. So like if he like. I'm sorry. Like if I'm Rory, I'll be like, sorry, dude, but I don't. You're the one who fucking sucks because you paid $1,000 to stand here and watch me play.
But that's the thing though. Like, should that guy get kicked out for saying that? It's not true. Rory should. I
don't know. It's tough.
It's tough. It is tough. But I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine to like the jeering's fine on like the giving shit. Like that's part of golf. I do think there is an etiquette of like just whether you agree with it or not. Someone's in their backswing, they're lining up to a putt. Like that is generally like a gentleman's rule in golf, not to like yell out. Like these guys are so good that does impact them. But like I agree with this. I hate when you see fans, some moron like threw a beer at Rory's wife yesterday. It's like, just don't be stupid.
Okay, that's too far.
It's just like you could tell Rory was like emotional after these rounds. But to your point, Steve, he kicked our ass like the whole weekend. Yeah. So it's like put up or shut up. Like
say what you want. Don't throw a beer though.
Right.
Yeah. Don't throw things like nothing violent or physical. Yeah. I mean, if you're yelling stuff at the guys in their backswing, okay, also that shouldn't happen. And they stop playing. They don't let that happen. But I was just like Matt Fitzpatrick, and who was crushing DeChambeau, who then came back and tied him. He was complaining to the ref because he was like, wait, I heard somebody say something somewhere in
that. So that's where it's
shut up.
What do they do when someone like if you talk during if I was like fuck you Rory during his backswing and then he shanked it because
they wouldn't do anything. You got to play it. That's how it goes.
So here's what if you want to fight it, I say okay, Rory has the chance to take a mulligan.
Yeah,
and he can take as many mulligans as he wants as long as the referee deems that like there was noise.
I would love
so you could say it
like
again your next backflip.
A zebra outfit.
Right. Just have an official.
But yeah. I like
and be like, oh, Rory, someone talked. Do you want your mulligan?
Yeah.
Well, there is a ref. There is a ref. But
that's what I mean. Like, just have it like it can be subjective, just like all referees are. It's like the ball's in strike zone. Yeah. It's a subjective take.
No,
right?
I know.
Like, oh, I heard Wilson called you a douchebag, so you get to go again, and then like he swings again and puts it 2 inches from the pin.
Yeah.
Right. Turns around, gives Wilson the bird.
Yep. Then
actually
you think
does
twice.
like the DX suck it,
which eventually
exactly
even better,
which eventually would make the galleys think twice.
Yep.
Because I do think golf does. That's what Liv has tried to capitalize on. They're trying to bring a little bit of like modernization to the game, right? Like they're playing music. Like it's not as quiet as you get as a golf tournament. We're so used to watching that. Those guys that play on the PGA are not used to that. Versus you look at the guys that are on the Liv Tour, they hear that shit all the time. There's like rap music playing when they're hitting the ball. It's just I'm all about talking a little bit of shit because that's the whole point of the Ryder Cup. Like you're not just like
exactly.
Like you got to have a little bit of fire. I just thought the U.S. fans, because the team played so bad, they were dead on Friday and Saturday. If you paid money to go see that, like on Friday, there was no juice in the stands at all. It was Europe just stepping on our throats. It was Saturday at the end when it started to get good on the 18th hole. It was like, this should have been like this the whole weekend. Would have been awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ryder Cup's a top 5 event, sports event for the year for me, which is maybe crazy, but it's a top 5 for me.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I know we got to get going. Thank you to all of you for listening to another 51 minutes of Take the Points, and we will be back here very soon. We will not be skipping weeks like this frequently, so we will see you again next week here on Take the Points.
A true underdog podcast.
I thought you weren't going to say it, too.
Yeah.
See ya.
I did not have next man up mentality.